So recently I attended a horror movie convention where I stumbled across a booth of amateur filmmakers and decided to spend the $25 to support them, and picked up an awesome looking Blu-ray for a movie they called The Pumpkin Man. Now this movie is directed by Ryan Sheets, who also plays the main antagonist, the Pumpkin Man, and though I cannot find the exact budget for the film, it is clearly very low and is rated 3.9 out of 10 on IMDb, but a solid 5 out of 5 on Facebook. Now, I'm not here to bash anyone, simply talk about projects and have fun with them. I clearly love low-budget horror films such as the Poonaverse and the classic slashers from the 80s. Hell, I bought the highly priced DVD to support them without doing any research into their films whatsoever. So I finally got around to watching it, and I can comfortably say that it is a fun, bad horror movie. And I wanted to give my opinions on it since I know it is relatively unheard of. So in doing my research, I discovered the production team South Ridge Films has a YouTube page created back in 2013 and seemingly only revolves around their Pumpkin Man character. The original Pumpkin Man short film dates back as far as 7 years ago and has multiple sequels and director's commentaries. They also have several other short horrors on their channel and overall seem to be a solid team of filmmakers. I even picked up another DVD from their booth called The Barn that I will make a separate video review on once I watch it. But for now, let's talk about 2023's The Pumpkin Man. The movie starts in a small town named Cromwell in 1790, and I already have to appreciate how it looks. Camera quality and direction is very good, but we run into our first problem. Now, being an amateur horror film, it is expected to not have the best acting. It's a staple of the genre. We open with a witch giving us the pumpkin version of Freddy Krueger's theme song, as she scribbles it into a mysterious book.
He'll latch on to your fear. His wicked howl will strike your heart when his evil draws in near.
Right away, we get a chase sequence as the Pumpkin Man hunts down the witch. The chase really portrays the creature as just a dude in a costume. It isn't until further into the movie where you can start seeing the Pumpkin Man as more of an entity and not an outfit. The witch falls and haphazardly buries her evil witchy book under a thin layer of dirt before slitting her throat, which seems to stop the monster's attack. Slam the title sequence and transition to modern day Cromwell. We get our stereotypical teen girl survivors as they joke around and act like they're friends. Now these two girls immediately talk about the Pumpkin Man curse like it's the latest TikTok trend, and apparently it's the only thing Cromwell is famous for, as everyone in the town seemingly knows the myth.
Hey, she's just trying to do her job, and plus, I thought the Pumpkin Man was just bullshit to you anyway.
That doesn't mean I can't find it interesting. Plus, if she's a tour guide, I expect her to know what she's talking about.
Does anybody have any questions? Yes, you in the back.
Okay, so, why hasn't the Pumpkin Man been summoned in, like, forever?
The girls go off the path of a haunted house and get arrested, and we see what is arguably the best set for a police station I have ever witnessed. I saw the white door and immediately had to appreciate the attempt. We also are introduced to the main character's older brother, who is, I guess, the youngest chief of police in the country. He also has some stiff delivery with his lines as if he's rushing to get them said.
What?
I know the mastermind behind this. Trust me, you're fine. One day I'm not gonna be able to bail you out. I've gotten a dozen calls about these Pumpkin Man pranks and they all have one thing.
I have to appreciate the younger sister's acting because at least she is showing a range of emotion. Anyways, we are then introduced to two more characters, Michael and Tina. Now when I look at this group, I place Michael and Tina at around 18 to 19 years old, and the other girls at around 14 to 15. So I was very much thrown off when the movie introduced a romance between Michael and the main protagonist. I know the actors are probably closer in age to each other, but it just kind of set off some alarms in my head. Besides that, we now have two more characters who also know about the tale of the Pumpkin Man. We get some shallow backstory to these characters' relationships as well as the same set they used for the police station as the girls' classroom. Gotta love those plain white house doors. I also love these scenes where the characters' text messages appear on screen way too quickly for the person typing it out to finish their paragraph in time. The main two girls, sorry I keep saying that, but their character names genuinely escape my mind. They go back to this desolated haunted attraction and just watch how easily they discovered the witch's book that nobody could find for over 200 years.
What makes you think the book's here?
The poem said something about snarling roots and twisted vines, and I mean, it's kind of a little obvious.
Okay, Sherlock.
What is it?
The group come together at a pumpkin patch and recite the long-lost incantation and summon the Pumpkin Man. I do love the scene where the monster breathes life into a scarecrow. Pretty creative way to summon him. The owner of the pumpkin patch, Hank, scares the kids off his darn property and is quickly brutalized by the Pumpkin Man.
Oh my God!
Now that was fucking awesome. Definitely earned this movie major brownie points. But right after, it is soiled by our 20-year-old cops rolling up to the scene in a regular car. I know they're detectives and it's supposed to be an unmarked police vehicle, but man, I just don't believe it. The story now takes a turn into presenting the Pumpkin Man as very similar to Freddy Krueger. We get some crazy dream sequences where he torments multiple people, the most intense being all the dreams he has with Michael.
So concerned with unsolved murders, not even once thinking that maybe one day you'd become one.
Who are you?
Guess.
Where am I?
I also love how the Pumpkin Man himself never directly speaks, but he has this deep horror voice in Michael's dreams that once again are just like Freddy Krueger.
Because you're weak.
I could snap your neck easier than a toothpick, and your little girlfriend would watch your sleeping body go lifeless and fall limp on the floor. Do not fucking test me.
If you...
We get a few more fun kills to fill in the rough narrative, such as when Tina gets her intestines punched out through her gut, and later in the movie when Michael gets his face and head ripped off. Seriously, moments like this save this movie from dropping any lower than what it is because they're well made and insane to watch. There's even a funny scene where one of the girls saves her life by telling the Pumpkin Man to go kill her other friend at the haunted house with her. Wow, what a friend, man. But to be real, I probably would do the same thing if saving yourself from a painful death is to just tell the monster to go kill someone else. We also get some fun gags with the Pumpkin Man showing up on camera while he isn't actually there. Now that we can clearly see what the Pumpkin Man looks like since he has fully shown up multiple times, and this joke will only work with people native to Ohio, but the film seems like something Kings Island produced for Hulu Wayne. The movie, now having expensed all its creative kills, comes to a strange ending that left a bitter taste in my mouth. We have the police brother arriving to save his sister, and they have this whole chase at a haunted house with the monster. Which I also have to mention how this haunted attraction has a ton of workers but feels so empty. The whole movie outside of one scene halfway through the film, we barely see anyone walking around. On our journey to the end here, the movie establishes that the Pumpkin Man is a sacrificial demon, and that he must kill the people who summon him, which leads us to the cop brother having to shoot his sister to stop the curse. We get a hilarious slow motion sequence as he pops one into her head and the Pumpkin Man is bound by rope from off camera and pulled against a tree, and that's it. We don't see the Pumpkin Man revert back to a scarecrow or die or anything. He is just restrained by a strange rope. The film ends on a cliffhanger about how the Pumpkin Man will return and kill anyone who summoned him and escaped him if the spell is read again, indicating that the main girl's best friend, who is the friend that got away by ratting out her other friend, is in peril of being the final girl of a sequel. Now, I think a sequel is definitely going to happen, but I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't check it out. The Pumpkin Man is not a good movie, does not have the best acting or plot, but has a fun creature and is capable of some crazy kills. With a higher budget, I think a sequel would be really entertaining. Like Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 levels of entertaining. But we will have to wait and see if a Pumpkin Man 2 will bless our screens. I want everyone to look up Southridge Films and give them a follow and support their filmmaking journey. And make sure to check out my brand new YouTube short which ties directly into the Pumpkin Man. Till the next All Hallows Eve, I hope you all have a great day.
If anyone ever reads from that book again, he'll come after anyone who's ever summoned him and escaped.
Oh my God.